In the tranquil town of Willow Creek, where the houses dotted a landscape cradled by gentle hills and expansive forests, the day surrendered to a calm, starry night. Max, a small but spirited puppy, frolicked in the soft grass of his backyard, enjoying the cool evening breeze. His fur, a mixture of golden and white, glimmered under the moonlight, giving him an almost ethereal presence in the dark. Max's home, a cozy cottage with a red-tiled roof and flowering vines climbing up its walls, sat on the edge of town, bordered by the dense foliage of the surrounding woods. This serene environment was perfect for a puppy like Max, whose days were spent in joyful exploration and carefree play. As the night deepened, an unusual phenomenon disrupted the peaceful sky. A series of bright, pulsating lights began to appear, casting an otherworldly glow over the area. These lights, unlike anything ever seen in Willow Creek, moved with purpose and precision, converging above a clearing not far from Max's home. The residents of the town, tucked away in their beds, remained unaware of the spectacle unfolding. The lights gradually descended, revealing their source. A sleek, metallic spacecraft, its surfaces smooth and reflective, almost blending with the night sky. The craft made no sound as it touched down, its technology far beyond human understanding. From within this mysterious vessel, a door silently slid open, releasing a soft, luminescent blue light that illuminated the nearby ground. Stepping out were several tall, slender beings, their skin shimmering like the surface of a calm sea under moonlight. These aliens, with elongated limbs and large, expressive eyes, took their first tentative steps on Earth, their movements graceful and fluid. Curious about their new surroundings, the aliens began to explore, their eyes absorbing the details of this alien world. It wasn't long before they stumbled upon Max, who had stopped his play to stare at these strange new visitors. The contrast between the tiny, fluffy puppy and the tall, imposing aliens was stark. Yet Max, undeterred by the size difference, took on the role of protector of his domain. As Max barked at them, a sign of both curiosity and challenge, the atmosphere changed. The aliens, intrigued by this tiny, energetic earthling, responded not with hostility, but with amusement. Their initial encounter, marked by Max's bravado and the aliens' bemusement, set the stage for a night that would unfold with unexpected friendships and new understandings. Max's barks echoed into the quiet night, sharp and persistent, as he faced the mysterious visitors in his backyard. His stance was brave, though his small body trembled slightly with each fierce bark. The aliens, towering and serene, observed Max with a blend of curiosity and amusement. Their faces, expressionless to the human eye, conveyed subtle hints of intrigue through their shimmering eyes. The mocking began innocently enough. One of the aliens, bending slightly to come closer to Max's level, mimicked the puppy's barking sound, creating a high-pitched, warbling version of it. This sound, alien and echoing, seemed to bounce through the clear night air. Another alien joined in, and soon a chorus of strange, echoing barks filled the area around the small cottage. Max, initially confused by this imitation, resumed his barking with even more vigor. He puffed out his chest and tried standing on his tiptoes, aiming to appear larger and more intimidating. To Max, this was a serious display of his protective instincts, but to the aliens, it was a bewildering and entertaining spectacle. Their laughter, if it could be called that, was high-pitched and ethereal, blending strangely with the night sounds of crickets and distant owls. They pointed their slender fingers at Max, their bodies shaking with their unique form of laughter, causing the lights on their skin to flicker and dance. Feeling overwhelmed, Max's barks became mixed with whines, his emotions a tangled mix of determination and distress. His efforts to be taken seriously only increased the aliens' fascination and amusement. They had never encountered a creature so small, yet so full of spirit and bravado. As the scene unfolded, the night air was filled with the surreal sounds of alien laughter and a puppy's courageous barks. Max stood his ground, not understanding the mockery but feeling its sting. The aliens, oblivious to the emotional effect of their actions, continued their teasing, unaware that this encounter was about to take a significant turn with the arrival of someone very special to Max. The cool night air was thick with tension as Max continued to confront the towering aliens, his barks now laced with a mix of bravery and unease. Unseen by Max and the aliens, headlights pierced through the darkness on the road leading to the cottage. It was Jake, Max's human, returning home from his business trip, his heart eager to reunite with his beloved puppy. As Jake's car drew nearer, the unusual lights and the silhouette of the spacecraft became visible. A sense of urgency gripped him when he heard Max's distressed barks resonating in the calm night. Parking his car hastily, Jake grabbed his flashlight and sprinted towards the backyard, fear and concern propelling his steps. Emerging into the backyard, Jake's beam of light swept across the scene. Max, small and defiant, surrounded by a group of alien beings. The sight was so surreal, so beyond anything he had ever imagined, that for a moment he froze, taking in the extraordinary encounter. The aliens, noticing the new human presence, paused their mocking gestures. The atmosphere shifted as they turned their attention to Jake, their bodies still and observant. Jake, though initially stunned, quickly assessed the situation. His protective instincts surged to the forefront as he approached Max, his voice firm yet calm. "Max, come here, boy," Jake called out, extending his hand. Max, recognizing his owner's voice, ran towards Jake with a mix of relief and joy. The connection between them was palpable. Jake scooped Max into his arms, stroking his fur soothingly, whispering words of comfort. The aliens observed this human-puppy reunion with growing curiosity. Their expressions, once amused, now took on a hint of perplexity as they witnessed the evident bond of love and trust between Jake and Max. The leader of the aliens, a taller figure with deeper blue hues, stepped forward slightly, a silent gesture of acknowledgement. Jake, holding Max close, addressed the aliens with a cautious but open demeanor. "Hello, I'm Jake. This is Max. We mean you no harm," he declared, his voice steady. The simple introduction marked the beginning of a new understanding as the aliens began to grasp the significance of the emotional connection they had inadvertently threatened. This moment of realization was the turning point, as both human and alien stood under the starry sky, bridging worlds through the universal language of companionship and respect. The mocking had ceased, replaced by a quiet respect and a burgeoning curiosity about the depth of the bond they had just witnessed. Under the celestial tapestry of the night sky, a silent understanding began to unfold between Jake and the alien visitors. Holding Max securely in his arms, Jake's presence radiated a calm authority that seemed to resonate even with the otherworldly beings before him. The atmosphere, charged with earlier misunderstandings, now hummed with the potential for reconciliation. The leader of the aliens, who stood slightly ahead of the others, extended a slender hand towards Jake in a gesture of peace. The hand, bioluminescent and faintly glowing, hovered in the air as a symbol of their desire to amend the initial misjudgment. Jake, recognizing the sincerity of the gesture, cautiously extended his own hand, his fingers brushing against the alien's cool, smooth skin. This contact marked a pivotal moment of mutual recognition and respect. With Max still nestled safely in his arms, Jake began to speak slowly, ensuring his words were clear and imbued with the warmth of his intentions. "We all live under the same stars, just in different worlds," Jake said, his voice soft but firm. "Max is more than just a pet to me. He's family. And like any family, we protect and cherish our own." The aliens listened intently, their heads tilting in curiosity as they processed his words. Their leader, now more engaged, emitted a series of soft, melodic sounds that the others seemed to understand as speech. Though Jake could not comprehend the alien language, the tone conveyed a depth of sincerity. "We did not understand the bond," the leader managed to articulate in halting but clear human speech. "We learn, we see, we respect." This admission, simple yet profound, echoed around them, softening the earlier tensions. Jake, moved by their effort to communicate, shared stories about Earth, its diverse life, and the special role that animals, especially dogs, play in human lives. He talked about loyalty, love, and the unspoken pact between humans and their pets, emphasizing the emotional richness that animals bring into human lives. The aliens absorbed every word, their eyes wide with a mix of wonder and realization. Max, now relaxed and curious, sniffed at the air around the aliens, his earlier apprehension replaced by a cautious interest. Some of the aliens extended their hands gently towards him, their movements slow and non-threatening. This exchange, once unimaginable under the night sky of Willow Creek, had blossomed into a remarkable dialogue between species from different corners of the universe. A new chapter of understanding was being written, one filled with respect and the recognition of shared emotions across the stars. As the night deepened, a profound sense of camaraderie began to take root between Jake, Max, and the alien visitors. The backyard, a familiar place of play and laughter for Max, had transformed into a meeting ground for interstellar diplomacy and friendship. Jake continued to share insights about Earth and its inhabitants, delving into tales that showcased the bond humans share with their pets. He spoke of dogs that had saved lives, provided comfort in times of distress, and brought joy and companionship to many. The aliens, fascinated by these stories, began to express their own narratives through a series of intricate sounds and light patterns, sharing glimpses of their world and the beings that inhabited it. The leader of the aliens, now more relaxed and visibly moved by the discussions, approached Max with a gentle demeanor. Max, sensing no threat, allowed the alien to gently pat his head. The touch was light, careful, filled with a newfound respect for the small creature who had shown such bravery. As the early hours of the morning approached, the aliens prepared to depart. They communicated their gratitude for the understanding and warmth they had received. "We will carry the stories of Max and his kind back to our world," the leader conveyed. "This encounter has taught us much about respect and the universality of love." Before leaving, they offered Jake a small, luminescent orb, a token of their appreciation and a symbol of the newfound friendship between their peoples. The orb glowed softly in Jake's hand, its light pulsing gently, mirroring the steady beat of understanding and connection. Jake and Max watched as the aliens returned to their spacecraft. The ship, silent as ever, lifted off the ground smoothly, its lights blending with the fading stars as dawn approached. The craft disappeared into the morning sky, leaving behind a quiet that felt full of possibilities. Max curled up in Jake's lap, both of them watching the last twinkles of the alien ship fade away. Jake reflected on the night's events, a smile playing on his lips as he looked down at Max, who was already drifting to sleep. In that quiet moment, a tiny puppy and his human had not only protected their home, but had also bridged worlds, changed hearts, and fostered an interstellar friendship based on mutual respect and understanding. The dawn broke over Willow Creek, casting a golden glow over the backyard where Earth and the stars had come together. Jake knew that the world seemed a bit larger now, and certainly more wonderful, knowing that even the smallest among us can change the universe.